Yo, welcome back. We're going to be comparing Everquest races in this video. This video is going to be 100% factual. There will be no opinions here. And the reason I know that is because the dislike button has been removed from YouTube. So anything I say from this point forward is a fact. So let's go ahead and get started. We got halflings. We're going to work our way over to humans. We got S through D. S is going to be your best. D is going to be the worst. So let's start out with halflings. Nobody likes being a halfling. They're dirty. They're small. I never needed a halfling for anything in my life. I can't ever imagine asking, yo man, wish I had a halfling around right now. So we're going to give them a D. Completely useless class. They can go ahead and just take them out of the game. Now I do think Rivervale's pretty cool, but it's too small for me. So halflings, I'm sorry guys. You're just going to get that D status. Female halflings, they're a little bit cleaner than the male counterparts. And I feel like it's a little bit more acceptable to play a halfling as a female, if you are a female especially. But it's still bottom of the barrel. Like I'm just gonna have to give them like maybe like a C, D status. We're just gonna put her on top of his shoulders right there. She can stand on his shoulders, so you can carry her around so she don't get her feet wet. Next we got a male barbarian. Male barbarians, they're pretty good. Hallis is a pile of crap. Everfrost is a pile of crap, but man, you're just like super strong, alpha type race. You're gonna have tons of muscles, and the chicks are gonna love that. So I gotta give him a solid. We'll give him an A, especially if you have an eye patch. That's gonna put you a little bit higher. Since our boy here's got an eye patch. If he didn't, he'd probably be more like a B. But we'll give him an A since he's got an eye patch. Female barbarians, they're tough girls. They are tough girls. They're gonna be if they're gonna be your waifu, they're gonna be talking back a little bit, and unless you're a male barbarian, she's gonna beat you down. So you got to be physically ready to prepare if you're gonna have a female barbarian waifu. But I do feel like they are super. You know, you know what I mean. They're good. They're good. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna give them that. This should actually be up here. We're just gonna go ahead and put double D. Double D. We're gonna give her the double D status. I think she earned it. And she's a feisty girl, so you're gonna have to control her. Half elves, man, I don't know. I don't think they're the worst race in the game. They're definitely not. They're nowhere near the best race in the game. I think they're probably right in the middle somewhere. They can start in a lot of different areas, but you know, if you're not starting in Kelathan, you're just a loser. Like, why would you start in Quanos? Nobody wants to start in Quanos. Any opportunity you have to not start in Kelathan just makes you a lesser race in general. So if you do start one, I would put you a little bit higher. If you were like, what is it, Tunair, maybe you might start in Kelathan. But I just got to give them a C. They're just kind of a middle of the road race. There's nothing special about them. They're not like the worst class. Their haircuts are really bad too. So, and I feel like the female half elves, it's kind of the same thing there. They're pretty much both on the same level. There's really no whole lot of distinction between them. You could be looking at a chick and it might be a dude. Looking at a dude, you could maybe that could even be a chick. It's like it's 2021 though, you know. So just whatever goes nowadays. High elf, high elves. They are like if you're a high elf, don't send like there's just so many better races than like the male high elves. Like they're just fruity boys, and they're just weird. Like it makes me uncomfortable to be around one. So I'm just gonna have to give them like a. They're not a B. Like they're a C, I guess. We'll give them a C. And again, this is an opinion. This is like a fact. They're a C. So moving on to high elf females. I mean, they're the most. I mean, come on. They're S tier all the way through. Like they're the most loyal waifus in the game. They're always going to be there for you. They never turn their back on you. I mean, they're just S tier all around. They're beautiful. They're smart, and they're strong-willed, and they're strong. So they're definitely just an S all the way around. And just so we're all clear, like what a waifu, you know, what we're talking about here. We'll just put a little waifu face right here, just so you guys remember, like this is going to be your number one loyal waifu in the game. Next we got gnomes. We got Akanon, awesome, cool, creative zone. I love Akanon. Steam Font, really nice starting zone. They're close to Wood Elves, so that's a plus for gnomes as well. They start, you know, just a couple zones over from Wood Elves, so they're going to get a higher ranking just based on that alone. We're gonna give gnomes. They're a solid. They're not a B, I wouldn't say. I'd give them an A. I think gnomes are an A tier race. We'll put their feet in the B. Put their feet in the B right here. They're almost entirely an A. They're like A minus plus. A minus plus. And same thing for the female gnomes. A minus plus here. Also a really good race. Dark elves. Now this really depends on what class you pick. I feel like for casters, Dark Elves is a definite S tier. For a warrior or a rogue, you're just going to go down a couple ranks. It's just what it is. There's so many better races to pick as a warrior or a rogue. And Dark Elf just ain't it. But Shadow Knight's also an S tier. So I feel like overall, if you're going to be one of the S tier classes that go with the Dark Elf, you're going to be S. But if you're like one of those other ones, even a Cleric, I don't feel like Cleric is the best race. With the Dark Elf, we're going to put them mostly into an S tier here. We'll put them. We'll leave their feet into the A tier. They're probably three quarters S tier. Female Dark Elves. Now everybody knows the only reason anyone plays, only people who play female Dark Elves are dudes looking for free stuff. Like there's no girls playing female Dark Elves, and if you are a girl in real life and you're playing one, you're probably actually a dude. You just don't know it yet. So we're gonna just we're gonna give them. We'll give them an AB. We'll give them an AB right here. I think that's right. And that's only because, like, dudes are playing these, you know? So, if you're a, like I said, that's just what it is. It is what it is. All right, let's move on. Male dwarfs. Kaladin sucks, but you got to ask yourself a question when you make a, when you make your race. Can it do a somersault? If the answer is yes, then you're doing the right thing. If the answer is no, it's going to be a minus. Unless, of course, you're like S tier or high already. And but yeah, since they're doing somersaults, I mean dwarf males, they're definitely higher than a dark elf male. If you're, yeah, ooh, it's close. I would say they're a little bit higher than dark elf male. We're gonna put them almost completely in the S tier. Dwarfs, literal gods of Fade War. I mean, you just can't match a dwarf. So, female dwarfs, nah, man. Like I ain't dealing with that. We're gonna put them down here in the C tier. I mean, everybody already knows this. Like, there's nothing needs to be explained. Draken, we're just gonna go ahead and shrink him down a little bit, just because nobody wants to look at a Draken, so we're gonna make him really small. And the female Draken, still a D tier, but we'll give her like a D plus, because she could be potentially waifu-ish, but it's more just like a bunch of pixels on the screen. It's not an actual waifu, so we'll make her a little tiny waifu there in the D tier. That's going to be your D tier waifu for this list. All right, next up we got Wood Elves. Male Wood Elves. This is really tough for me. This is really tough. I'm not sure where to put these guys. You know, something's wrong with this chart. What's this? There's a missing rank here. What is this? Oh yeah, Omega Alpha. That's right. Yeah. I was wondering where that went. That should, I must have accidentally deleted that or something. And also I noticed that this must be some bad game data or something, because Wood Elves don't look like that. They look way cooler. Oh, here it is. Okay, yeah. So you can see how Wood Elves are just the coolest. That's more of what they look like there. They're just like the richest, strongest, fastest, coolest, most popular race in the entire game. Probably in the entire universe out of all video games ever created. So if you're making a Wood Elf, you know, you're going to be the top tier. Everyone else is just going to be below you. This is what it is, and really no more explanation is needed. And this is just like some old footage, or I don't know what this is, but you know, we can go ahead and put them right here too, because if you're like, you know, if you got to clean your plate off, you're probably going to look like that, at least for a little bit, because of just like the pure bloodbath that you're going to be doing. Just dominating everybody. You're probably going to get blood and stuff all over your armor. So, you know, every once in a while you got to take it off and clean it. So, but these are just the Omega Alphas, top of the game. Best in life, everything. Again here, Same thing with the female wood elves. Just omega alphas of the females, and there's just absolutely no disputing it. That just is what it is. Everybody knows it. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. Trolls. Trolls are they're dirty. They come from grub. Nobody knows how to get to grub. Nobody knows how to get around grub. Like, what even is grub? Has anyone even been there before? I don't even know what it is or where it's at. We're just gonna give them a C. We can maybe put their head into B. They're definitely above a female dwarf. Maybe we'll put them even higher than that. And now that I think about it, since we're doing a fact-based video here, we're just gonna lower the female dwarfs just a little bit more here. Yeah, there we go. I think that's a little bit more accurate. And female trolls, oh boy. I mean, we'll just give them a C. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with those things? So we got Iridites, Eruden, really beautiful place. Paneel, pretty cool zone. Both awesome zones, but the problem is they're out in the middle of nowhere, and Iridites are just kind of out on their own island. But it's 2021, y'all ain't canceling me. We're just gonna give both female and male Iridites an S tier right here. Vashir, cat boys. I mean, like what do you got to say? What do you got to say about that? Females, if you're playing like a male cat boy, like just unsubscribe, uninstall the game. Like I don't want you around me. Like it's just creepy, and it's not healthy for you. It's really not. Females, this isn't really healthy for you either, ladies. But I will, since there's feline. It's a little bit more feminine. I'll put you a little bit above. But ladies, come on. Let's get real here. We're not cats. Ogres, I mean, boom, S tier. What else needs to be said? Your frontal immunity. You can role play. If you're actually stupid in real life, all you do is play an ogre, and everyone will think you're role playing. So that's always a plus. That's why I probably see a lot of ogres running around. That actually explains a lot now that I think about it. And female ogres, oh man. So I would say if you're a dude and you're playing a female ogre, like, bro, like, don't send me a tell, bro. Like, we don't have nothing in common. We're not going to be able to talk about nothing. Just don't send me a tell. But if you're like a waifu and you're playing with your husband Ito and he's a ogre, I'll allow you to play an ogre. And that's a female ogre. And that's the only scenario you're allowed to play female ogre. So if that's the case, I will put you in the S tier just by association as you're a cute ogre pair. But again, if you're a dude and you're playing these female ogres, no, don't do it, man. Don't do it. Ixars, I mean, they're just obviously they're the beta of the game. And a lot of monks are Ixars. And as we all know, monks are the beta of the game as well. And we're going to shrink them because they're ugly too, just kind of like the Drakens. And really nobody wants to look at this. So we'll just make him a little bit smaller. Female Ixars, if you're actually a female and you're playing one, I'll give you a little bit more credit just for being a little bit exotic, but you're still D tier. I'm sorry. So we'll put you at a D, and then Ixars are clear D minus right here. And also Ixar Town sucks. Kunark's all right, but everybody hates you, and there's good reason for that. It's because you function at the brain level of a lizard, like you have a lizard brain. So you're just not that smart of a person if you make this race, and that's just how it is. You notice there's only one frog. We don't have female or male frogs because everybody knows if you're a frog, you're just a frog. Like there's no sex. You're just a frog's a frog. You do get the hippity hoppity. I'll give you a little bit of credit of that. They're better than a Vashir because you're not trying to be a furry. You're probably on the same level, somewhere between a male and a female troll. And since we're going by facts, I will just that'll just put you right in the middle of a male and a female. You might even just raise her just a little, and then we'll make the frog. His head will hit the top of C, and then she'll be maybe pushing into B a little bit. I think that's about right. You're about as attractive as a half elf male, and the neutrality of the half. I'm sorry, as a high elf male, and the neutrality of the half elves here. And this is tough. I kind of want to raise the female. I feel like female halflings are maybe a little bit No, they're not better than frogs. It's tough. It's close. It's close. You could go either way, but we're just going to leave it as it is for the sake of hard evidence, of factual evidence here. So last, we got humans. And since at least I assume most people who play the game are humans in real life, some of you might not be. And if you're not, that's cool. Like, I don't judge you. But you don't want to be, you're human in real life. Like, why are you playing a human in the game? So if you have an eye patch in game, but you don't have one in real life, I'll give you a little bit of bonus. But if you have an eye patch in real life, but you don't have one in game, and you have one in game, how about that? Then that I would make you like a freaking, you might even be almost alpha omega. I mean, probably be like right around here if you have an eye patch in both. But if you don't have one in real life and you put one in the game, I'll give you a solid, we'll give you a C plus B minus. C plus minus B. C plus minus B. But really, it depends on what your hobbies are too. Like I found my boy over here. He's also a fellow human, Bait Masterson. So if your favorite pastime is the same as Bait Masterson's, I'm gonna have to move you up a little bit. I'm gonna have to move you up because that's like a he's got really good interests. So we'll give him a solid A. Bait Masterson, the human male, he gets a solid A. And then also next to Bait Masterson, another pastime hobby of humans is begging. So I found the beggar right here next to him. And if you're a beggar, probably gonna put you maybe a little bit lower. No one likes a beggar. No one likes a beggar. So yeah, you'll be a little bit lower than the eye patch guy. So last but certainly not least, we have female humans. And also, again, it depends on what her hobbies are. If her hobbies is the same as Bait Masterson, she's going to be a solid S. Solid S. She might even be a little bit into the Alpha Omega range. Not quite. That's a pretty elite range to be going into, so I can't put her into it fully. But that's going to be a solid S if her and Bait Masterson got the same hobby. And since she's like a super waifu, I mean, she's obviously not going to be begging anything. Waifus don't need to beg. They just kind of happen to get things just stumble into their lap. That's the beauty of being a waifu. But yeah, I think that covers all the races. And I hope you enjoyed this factual-based video. Again, if you are looking for what race to make, this is going to be all of the information you're ever going to need in your entire life to pick a race. Anytime you make a good character, a new character, just come to this video and you know what to do. So I hope this was helpful. Please make sure to like the video, and thanks for watching. Bye.